What has to be changed? Actually now, in the same trainings, so I think we need a lot of tools, because we find that most of the times when you have these projects, as we are dismantling, you find a challenge where maybe you don't have a certain tool. So before all this machinery comes, we need to have the tools, try the special ones, come together with the machines. And I think we also need this process. We realize that all the Volvo trainings, most of them, they've got to find parts through their process, what they call process. So that package is not available to us as at now. So if process can be available, it will be easy to learn or teach.
Improvements, I think we need more specialized tools, and maybe acquisition of a dump truck, because we've got an excavator, and it means we are not teaching our students on the dump trucks. If we add a dump truck, it would make another big difference.
Well, currently, just a few things that need to be improved. The stands, we need more stands where to mount transmissions and engines. That is where one of our major constraints. Apart from that, we also need a number of technical tools that we can use. And also, we just need a few more hand tools to make sure that the increased number of entrants on this program are able to utilize while on training.
On improvement, what I can say is just to look at the infrastructure. Yeah, the demand for improved standards of education is not meeting the infrastructure. By that I mean that what we have, already you can see what is behind me here. There is too much compared to the infrastructure. Meaning that if this facility that we have, which is the state-of-the-art equipment, it requires bigger space. We need to space them. Each of these components is supposed to have its own space, okay? Its own space with its own stand, so that you can accommodate as many students as possible without struggling for one equipment. Because if we do not expand in infrastructure, then we are going to have most of the equipment idling for some time because of the limited space. And again, the demand for this kind of education and technology, because the number of students and the infrastructure cannot match. So what can be improved is expansion in the infrastructure, so that all the training equipment that we have can be placed in the appropriate places, and that can help in student to equipment ratio, because there should be a standard ratio of students a particular project, and this room cannot contain the type of training materials that we have at the moment.
If you look at our place here, we don't have a running engine. So we need an engine. When we dismantle, we go on the engine. Even set some of these problems like engine problems, we can do them if we can make a test bench where we can be running the engine, then also maybe plant a fault on the engine, so that the students should know if maybe the temperature is high. The warning light comes in, or somebody should be able to diagnose on the running machines. Even if at the moment we have a lot of engines that we are working on. Apart from that, also transmission, also in this area of transmission, we have very few components that we can work on, including the PT transmission, because we have only one. Two, we have very few stands where to dismantle and assemble most of the components that we have in the lab here, in the workshop. So this would help us to improve on that area. Also on the tools, there are certain tools that we need in order to do a good job for our students. And if the more tools we have and more components, to be easier to share the students on each certain groups, maybe in groups of 2 or 3 to do one project, so that they all participate in doing the job. So as you can see, even on this simulator for hydraulic steering, there are certain components that are there because we can do better on this when all these components are there. We can simulate the actual machine on this simulator. Then the students, when they go out there, they will do well.
It's really on the electronic part of it, because what we have much more is on the manual aspect of the training. We have a lot of equipment, training materials that we're able to use, practically to enhance skills. But more to it, we need to have electronic equipment. For example, diagnostic materials that we are supposed to use, because every system now utilizes is actuated electronically. So there is need for Volvo to increase the electronic part of the training itself in terms of material on the practical aspect as well as text material.